17 interesting tips to know before visiting Africa.
Hello everyone. Welcome. Alright. Traveling to Africa for the first time can freak people out. Because all we seem to know about the place is that it's a land full of war, disease, poverty and starving children. But that's not really true. Because Africa is a beautiful continent, full of fast developing nations, and incredibly rich in culture and diversity. In fact, if it is going to be your first time in Africa, then it doesn't matter where you're going. This could be visiting the winding alleys in Morocco, safari in Kenya, or road trips in Namibia. Many places. But wherever you're going, your experience will be like no other place you've been on Earth. Now, here are some things you should know before you travel to Africa. Kindly don't forget to like and subscribe. Number 1.
You need to get travel insurance. Never ever travel without travel insurance. Especially if it's your first time.
Travel insurance usually will cost you between $2 to $5 a day, but will literally save you in case of anything, like health-wise. Remember, if you can't afford travel insurance, you can't afford to travel. Put your plans on hold and save for a few more months until you can. Let's go to number 2.
You should take new US dollar bills. Because USD is widely accepted in Africa, and for many visas you are required to pay in USD. Therefore it's a good idea to carry a good stack of 50s on you for whenever the need arises.
Some countries like Liberia and Zimbabwe actually use the USD for daily business. Also, to avoid carrying large amounts of cash, try and use the ATMs where possible. Because they are widespread and accept credit cards and plus cards, this will save you the anxiety of carrying large bundles of cash in your pockets. Actually, ATM withdrawals are safe and easy if you have a card designed for travel. Number 3.
You should take an unlocked smartphone.
Some people think Africa is so backward, and that people are still sending letters by pigeon. But those people have been fooled. Because times have changed and your phone must be unlocked to use it. Actually, you can get a SIM card, because there are many decent cell and data networks of affordable price. Let's go to number 4.
You should beware of malaria. It is a big problem in Africa and it is spread by a certain kind of mosquito species. However, it's not easy to catch, because it is very easy to prevent.
You may inquire about malaria from a health worker in your area. Also remember that if you don't get bitten by the mosquito, you are safe. And there are easy precautions for this, so don't let the fear of this ruin your trip. Number 5.
You need to take sunscreen. This can be hard to find in some African countries, simply because the local population have no need for it. And when you do find it, it will be expensive. And you will be lucky to find your favorite brand. Just take your own from home.
Number 6.
Protect yourself from traveler's diarrhea. Okay, even if food hygiene is actually quite good in Africa, and there is a very strong culture around washing hands, dishes and washing vegetables very thoroughly, traveler's diarrhea still happens.
Okay, the thing that lets them down is the potability of their water supplies. Because most tap water in Africa is not safely drinkable for Westerners. However, luckily there is a way for you to protect yourself against unsafe water and stomach problems in general. Also, in case you get the diarrhea, visit a medical personnel for help on what to use, other than self-medication. Probiotics help under guidance. Number 7.
Always dress down. Remember that poverty is still a big problem in Africa, and you'll come across many people who struggle day to day, including an abundance of homeless people and street kids.
Alright, while they don't present any danger in most cases, it helps to not flaunt your expensive things and draw attention to yourself. And, assuming your face is not African, you're already going to draw attention in rural places and often in cities too, so try and stay as low-key as possible.
This means not wearing shiny watches, shiny rings, shiny bracelets, shiny earrings or necklaces. Use cheap sunglasses, shoes and backpacks. This advice also applies to a lot of Southeast Asia and Latin America too.
Another thing you should be mindful of is the culture. While short shorts, low-cut blouses, and tank tops might be normal to wear back home, they are not in most of Africa. That means no flashy clothes. For the ladies, try and stay covered up as best as possible. Number 8.
Take a torch, power bank, and headlamp. Because power cuts are widespread and frequent in Africa, especially smaller African cities, and many areas don't have electricity.
While the torch on your phone is usually sufficient, I'd highly recommend taking a headlamp, especially if you're going hiking, camping, on safari, or visiting rural areas. Trust me, you will thank me later. Also, take a good power bank. Number 9.
Don't take white clothing. One thing you'll notice about many African cities is not all the roads and footpaths are paved.
The sidewalks are often gravel or dirt, and this leads to a lot of dust and dirt in the air. For this reason, I always avoid taking white clothes, especially socks. They get brown very quickly, and in some places you will end up hand washing them as washing machines are rare outside the big cities. And also, take a pair of sunglasses for when you're wandering around. Your eyes will thank you. Number 10.
Don't take photos of locals without permission. Alright, you're going to come across some amazing photo opportunities of local people doing things you've never seen before.
While your first inclination may be to pull out the camera and snap, try to refrain from doing so as local people will often take offense at you taking photos of them. In fact, many people will approach you and ask you for money if they catch you. You can use your zoom and take your snaps from afar or just be discreet, but there is a proper way for taking photos in Africa. You ask permission first, and if they say yes, go ahead and take it, and if they say no, you say thank you and move on. Actually, many people will in fact be fine with you taking their photo and will ask to see it afterwards. Don't be alarmed if they ask for a tip, it is quite normal and will keep the peace for you to give them a coin or a small bill, a few cents to $1 and no more. This will keep the peace and they will appreciate your respect. Number 11.
You should take a hand sanitizer. If you're planning a few trips off the beaten track, you're bound to be touching all sorts of dirty things. And have local children jumping all over you. Keeping a bottle of this handy is a lifesaver. Hard to find in some places, so take your own from home.
Number 12.
Carry a packet of baby wipes. Especially if going on safari, camping, hiking, or any outdoors activity. Trust me, they'll come in handy.
Number 13.
Don't connect to Wi-Fi without protection. Most places in Africa have Wi-Fi now, but security isn't up to the level that Western world is used to.
I would highly recommend that you get a VPN before you start connecting to Wi-Fi networks in hotels, cafes, restaurants and so on. Because this will encrypt all your connections and ensure your activity is secure. Which is particularly important if you'll be accessing bank details online, PayPal, credit cards, or any other sensitive information. Actually, the amount of celebrities and just regular people that continue to get their passwords scraped and online accounts broken into is proof enough. You need to secure your connection, and the best way to do that is with a VPN. Number 14.
Be smart with hustlers while walking around the streets. Because you will get some unwanted attention. Guys will try to sell you arts and crafts, or lure you to souvenir stores in an effort to earn a commission.
If you're in bars and clubs late at night, you will get propositioned by working ladies. That's fine if you're interested, but chances are you're not. If in any case these people are harmless and are just an annoyance, the trick is to just be cool and relaxed rather than hostile. Another trick is, if they ask if it's your first time visiting, just say no. Say I come every year and my brother lives here. Something like that, you know. And once they realize you're not a clueless tourist, they will most likely chit-chat with you for 10 more seconds, before moving on to a more promising target.
However, it's harmless and just requires a little travel savvy. Always be polite, never say it's your first time in the country, and if in doubt, just don't say anything. Just smile and be on your way.
Number 15.
Once you land in the country, get the phone number of a reliable taxi driver. Contact your hotel, and if you find a good taxi driver, hold on to him.
If your hotel sends a driver to the airport and you get to your hotel safe, get his number. Otherwise, ask the hotel staff for a reliable taxi. Keep his number in your cell phone, or even better, memorize it. You can call him whenever you're in a fix, especially if you're stuck somewhere after dark. Just make sure you'll never be stuck without a ride home in the night. Also, in many of the major cities they now have Uber, so make sure you download it. It's cheap and has been extremely useful for many, especially as you can avoid the whole haggling part of getting a taxi. Most of Uber you can find in major African cities, but it's for peace of mind more than anything. Also, they are hard to find in some rural areas. However, in Africa, a taxi driver you know personally is always the first choice. Number 16.
You need to pack a first aid kit. A standard first aid kit can come in handy, in a place where ambulances are scarce and hospital helicopters don't exist. That means bandages, antiseptics, prescription antibiotics, a pocket knife, sterile needles. Some hospitals don't have these. DEET, antidiarrheals and painkillers.
Number 17.
You should use your common sense and stay safe. Despite what people think, Africa is not a wild, lawless place. Of course there's crime, but common sense will be sufficient to keep you safe.
You should not go out alone at night. Take a local mail with you. Actually, when you arrive in the country, ask someone you can trust, such as a tour guide or hotel staff, about the danger spots in the city. And also, always have an escort at night. And if you go wandering by yourself at night, you may in more danger. However, Africa is really a great continent to explore. Go, explore, discover, enjoy. Happy travels. And please, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for adventure videos. It's Rusty from Bikori World Tours. God be with you all. Thanks for watching. Bye.